Today I furled up by giving one of my students a ride home. So this happened about 8 years ago. I was a junior high teacher at the time. I'd built a rapport with most of my students and their parents, and had come to respect them and they me. Well, one day as I was finishing up in my classroom, grading papers, going over the next day's lesson, etc., a female student came in and told me that she'd missed the bus and that her parents wouldn't be able to pick her up for another hour at least, and that she didn't really have any other family that she could rely on to give her a ride home, and her friend wasn't answering her phone. I called her parents to let them know the situation, and they told me it would be all right with them if I gave her a ride home this one time. I called my wife and let her know why I'd be late and proceeded to take the student to her house, and I went home immediately afterwards. Fast forward about 3 days later, and I was called in by the principal, and he and the superintendent sat me down and told me that what I'd done was against school policy and that it was highly inappropriate and sets a dangerous precedent, or some nonsense like that. I told them that I had called her parents and they said it was okay. That, however, didn't seem to matter because I didn't have any proof besides my word, and they suspended me for 2 weeks pending investigation. Well, that didn't sit well with either myself or my wife, so I all but begged to come back, and they decided to bring me back, but the investigation would still continue. Cut to about a week and a half later, and they told me that because what I did was technically against school policy, they had grounds to fire me, so they did. I finished up the semester and left on good standing with my students and my colleagues. I don't blame the student because the circumstances that led to her situation were out of her control, but I do suppose I should have thought of a different way to handle it. Either way, I did get a pretty decent severance package, so I suppose there's that. I also asked a lawyer if I had a decent case for wrongful termination, but he said that even if I did, it would cost more than it's worth to pursue. So, if I had to attribute a lesson to all of this, it would probably be that no good deed goes unpunished and that there are always those who will judge before they get all of the information.